Hi, Ryan.
What's up, Benjamin?
Uh, Not much,
Oh my
honestly.
God, I genuinely just came up with a thing I never thought about. You know the term hitting the Benjamin?
No, I never heard it. Never
Hitting the
heard that.
Benjamin? Are you Benjamin hitting the Benjamin?
I've never heard that expression before. It's not working on me.
That literally came out of nowhere for me.
What does that mean? Hitting the Benjamin?
No, it's just like hitting like a pen, like a vape pen or whatever.
It really?
Yeah.
I I guess I don't know enough
It's
about
it's
vaping
probably just
culture.
it's like a Zoomer thing. I don't know. I'm not like throwing it out there. I just genuinely never put that connection until we started.
I don't know about Zoomers.
No. No. I don't know. I think I'm technically still a millennial. I don't remember.
I'm not okay. So for me, at this point, the way I categorize it is: do you smoke cigarettes or do you vape? If you do neither, you're a millennial.
I see. Okay.
Which is why millennials like age slower than the other generations.
Yeah, because they're not smoking and they're outside generally, but less. So there's less sun exposure, and then they hydrate more. All that stuff.
Anytime I tell someone that I'm like 33, that I graduated in 2010, they're always surprised.
Yeah,
because I look like a baby.
When I first met you, I was like, I know he's his older brother, but he's got to be like one step older. And it's like, no, you're the second born. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so what are we talking about, Ben?
We're talking about a bunch of stuff. Let's see. I have been playing Kid Icarus, and I kind of want to talk about it.
Noted.
I've also we're finally going to get more into Twilight Imperium expansion news, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. I have created a presentation. I am prepared to show you the new factions, each of them, what they were known, all the information we had on them on Saturday of last week, which is now not accurate fully.
Interesting.
Well, it's not that it's inaccurate, it's that it's not complete.
So I have not really looked into the Twilight Imperium expansion, but no, actually, I did kind of start looking into it a couple of days ago, just because I noticed some stuff on Reddit. Mm-hmm. But you're mostly going to be showing me the new factions, which I didn't look at.
We can also briefly talk about the slight controversy that happened.
Okay, that sounds like it could be interesting.
Yeah.
And then I think I want to wrap up today's episode by bringing up a discussion that we had several episodes ago.
Okay.
And furthering it.
Okay, I'm
gonna let that hang. I'm gonna let that hang.
Ominous. Yeah.
But for our starting topic, I want to talk about games industry news.
Hell yeah! I hate the games industry. I also love the games industry. I'm very apathetic and excited.
That's a lot of contradictions there, Ryan.
Uh
huh. I mean, that's accurate.
I was gonna say, are they not apt?
No, they're pretty apt. There's been lots of highs and lows in the game industry right now. Before we start that, I do want to give a shout out to a new listener, or not a new listener, but another listener has come out of the closet and revealed themselves to
Come out of the closet feels like an odd description, but okay.
I thought it was funny. Is that offensive to LGBT people being compared to starting topic listeners?
Well, first of all, starting topic listeners are a part of that community.
Anyway, our friend Aqua apparently has been listening to the podcast, and
Yay.
they has made me this. It's a little, it's the baby from Super Metroid. And,
Thanks, Aqua.
Yeah, it is cool. I guess that is going to be our little mascot, I guess.
Oh, we can put it right here.
Put it right there?
Yeah.
Put it right in the middle?
Wait.
It's underneath the screen.
Wait, I got it. We'll throw it right here.
We'll figure something out. We got all this stuff all over the desk that's messing it up.
What I can literally do is I can make a 3D printed thing. I have nothing to talk about with 3D printing because I haven't had time to do it, but we can. That's a whole thing.
All right. So getting into it.
Tell me about industry news.
Well, okay. We've talked about before, but the most interesting stuff is just like the good games that have been coming out this year.
Yeah.
The reviews for Ghost of Yotei have come out, and that's the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, which is like incredibly well-reviewed, incredibly popular game.
Yeah.
And even though it is really high reviewed, it's not even like top 10 best game of the year.
Let's see. We have OpenCritic here.
To most aggregate lists.
We got OpenCritic here. We can check it out. Yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. The game rant's saying 10 out of 10, depending on where you go.
Yeah, from what I can tell, people aren't as excited about Yotei as they were Tsushima.
No. It's hard. I don't know. For me, I liked Ghost of Tsushima, but I never finished it. Mm-hmm. Because I only played the PC version after it came out, and I was like, eh.
You also were talking about before in our previous episode that you often don't finish games completely, or you don't actually. You don't roll credits on a lot of games.
Usually, though, I sink a lot of time into them, especially games like Ghost of Tsushima. One of my guilty pleasure games, my absolute guilty pleasure, I don't like admitting it genuinely, but I'll do it anyway, is Far Cry.
Yeah, no, I see nothing wrong with that.
I do. Far Cry is not a great series, and there's a lot of stupid shit in them.
Okay,
but I love that.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as the Ubisoft formula goes, because they got really formulaic after Assassin's Creed 2.
They sure did.
Far Cry is their best version of that formula,
I agree.
in my opinion.
I think I also really like the fact that it's like oppressively first person, if that kind of makes sense. Like you have to even drive first person, and usually you can turn it off if you want, but like that sort of stuff I really like. I like that you are really put into that character, whoever that character may be.
I like the Far Cry spin-offs that are smaller. Like I like the Blood Dragon expansion.
Yeah.
And I like Far Cry Primal.
I did not like Far Cry Primal.
I know, like, a lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of people did like it. And a lot of people just really wanted to do a caveman game. Like, my brother Sam loves the caveman game.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I can't wrap my head around being interested in cavemen. I don't know what it is. It's just like...
It's a fantasy setting that had its... Okay, so, do you know there's, like, a genre of movies that are just, like, caveman movies?
Okay, the only one that comes to my brain, which I don't think is accurate, is Conan the Barbarian.
I wouldn't call that accurate, no. I'm thinking more like Encino Man and, like, I think it was called Quest for Fire. It's like this movie where, I think that's the one. It has Ringo Starr in it and, like, no spoken dialogue at all. It's really weird, didn't do very well.
Doesn't sound great.
There's also, like, a lot of caveman video games for a while there.
Yeah.
There's, like, if you go to the Super Nintendo, like, 90s era... just on Nintendo Switch Online, there's like 4 different caveman platformers you can choose from.
Like there's like a twins, and one of them's name is Mac something. And
yeah,
Max.
Joe and Mac.
Joe and Mac. Okay.
The Neo Geo's own mascot series, like their equivalent of Mario and Sonic, was Bonk.
There's one that just came out. It's like I think it's called Primal. It's not like based off the show, but there's one I think called something along the lines of Primal. I remember that coming out recently. It looked okay.
Have you seen Primal?
We've watched a bunch of it.
I was gonna say if you don't understand the appeal of caveman fiction, Primal is the perfect example of
Primal is really good, but like I don't know. Something about it doesn't grab me as much as like fantasy. I don't know why.
All right, so back to the best games of this year.
Yeah.
The one that was interesting me is actually Death Stranding 2. I didn't realize has been so well received by people.
Do you know what happened with Death Stranding as a series?
Yeah, I've followed the entire story behind that. I've always thought it was very, very interesting.
So I remember all of it, and what I think is really interesting about the Death Stranding series is the Strand system.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The whole way of interacting online with other players.
Yeah, where it's like you don't really talk to people or interact, but you make structures, and because that structure was made, it'll be in other people's worlds. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really cool way of doing that, and I wish that more games tried it.
It kind of works a little bit like the asynchronous multiplayer of Dark Souls, like the way bloodstains and like messages work. But the weird thing is, like, you go from like the game is about repopulating like a wasteland and building infrastructure in order to be able to like transport goods across the country in like a post-apocalypse.
Yeah, so you can use your motorcycle and your car and all that stuff. So you need roads and bridges and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And like the way like other people's stuff, like everyone builds up their games, and that suddenly gets added into other people's games through the Strand system, and like you've got highways going across the game world now. It's like when you like the experience on launch is wildly different from the experience, since then, with everyone's stuff created and influencing the game.
Playing Death Stranding 1 today would be a really, probably even more boring experience than when it came out.
Well, a lot of people have been revisiting Death Stranding because of Death Stranding 2, and it is getting way better reception now than it did when it first released.
That's the other thing. When it released, it was, like, largely critically panned.
Yeah.
Because it was like kind of annoying to move, because it was annoying. I
was always a little bit against that, mostly because I'm more open-minded about that stuff.
I'm not saying it was that fair. I'm just giving you the responses that I heard. It was that like moving felt annoying, getting stuff done, and then like it's less annoying now. Also, the game's been out, so it's been more shit's been added. So all the stuff that like would have been a problem at the beginning, a lot of it's probably been dealt with by that Strand system.
A YouTuber I really like, Super Bunny Hop, which has been on hiatus, has barely made any videos in the past couple of years, recently did one about Death Stranding 1, and in particular, like, a reading list that goes with it. Like, the first part of the video was talking about the play Waiting for Godot, which is a famous Irish absurdist play. It's one of those, like, really, really famous pieces of literature, you know?
Gotcha.
And like comparing, like, what Death Stranding does is it tells a very bizarre absurdist story, you know, mixing lots of really really serious philosophical shit with a lot of really dumb fucking stuff and a lot of like pratfalls and weird comedy.
Yep.
And also just the way the gameplay mechanism that the whole game is walking.
Yeah.
Like, it makes walking complicated. What you have to do with the controller in order to make the Norman Reedus walk straight and balanced with all of his weights and stuff.
I'm gonna say it, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the thing.
It's a walking simulator.
It's a Fadian experience.
It is a Fadian experience, and I think that's really cool.
I also...
And the thing is, I've never played Death Stranding at all.
Neither have I.
Never touched it, but I find this game fascinating.
I find the ideas around it so cool, and I think that it'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind trying it. It just, like, it never really grabs me enough to want to try.
Mm-hmm. So, other things that are notable, Blueprints is only the 9th highest rated game on OpenCritic right now.
That is a little strange. My best guess for that is that it's because there's people who are having trouble with some of the puzzles.
And there's also Split Fiction I didn't know about until now, but that's the newest one by, what's his name, who did,
I don't know the name of the developer. I just know that the studio also made Get Out.
Get Out, and, well,
No,
they're all co-op.
A Way Out.
A Way Out. They're all co-op games.
They're also a specific kind of co-op game, split screen usually.
Like, they're doing a very specific experience where you play through the whole game with another player. You have to have a co-op experience in order to do it. It's a very linear, very story-focused thing.
Yep.
And this is, like, the 4th time they've done it, and they've done it better and better every time, as far as I can tell.
I believe so. I played a little bit of A Way Out, and it was pretty cool. We didn't end up finishing it just because of scheduling things and, you know, being adults. I also played It Takes Two, which I believe is the second one. Or the third one. I don't know if there's another one before A Way Out.
There was 2 more, like, they almost looked more like Telltale-style adventure games. The one was A Way Out, the prison one. And then there was, like, a second one that everyone forgot after that, I want to say.
Maybe. I remember A Way Out, then It Takes Two.
Yeah, It Takes Two was definitely the big one. That's the one where they turn into, like, little
The
dolls.
puppets and their parents, and it's like a whole thing about divorce. And it's like, yeah.
It seemed like a really cool.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
like
thanks.
it's just the thing. The only thing that kind of stinks about that one is that it is very much a couple game.
Yeah.
You play it with your significant other, and I played it with my buddy because his significant other didn't want to play it anymore. I haven't checked out Split Fiction, but I'm fascinated that it got that high.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like Blueprints is probably better than that.
Well, okay, so for any of our watchers who can actually see the screen enough, the top ranked one on this list is a game called Shunjinko? I'm probably pronouncing that right.
Right?
Incorrect, sorry. In pronouncing that incorrectly, I'm not pronouncing it right. And that one probably shouldn't be at the top of the list because it hasn't been reviewed by that many people, so it's getting an artificial boost by just...
Oh, I see.
But it is a game of tutoring Japanese language. And yeah, I was looking at the reviews because I'm like, oh, apparently this is really good. It's really fun, and it is an effective way of learning Japanese if anyone's interested in doing that.
It came out in February 13th. That's so odd.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to get any Game of the Years or anything like that. But, like, of the 14 people who reviewed it, it is very, very highly acclaimed.
I might check it out because I'm always interested in learning new stuff, and I do want to learn Japanese.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves on this list, but I do want to, like, bring attention to it because it sounds cool.
I mean, okay, Hades 2.
Hades 2.
I haven't played it at all because I'm not really that into Hades 1, to be honest with you, but I'm certain it's a good game.
I've never touched Hades 1, but I always assumed that if there's going to be a game that was going to make me enjoy the roguelike experience, it was going to be that one.
Yeah.
And I was probably going to play it to the extent of learning the story.
I think that is actually completely accurate. I think you'd really like all the characters a lot. I think that'd be your favorites.
My experience with other roguelikes, like I'm going to use Binding of Isaac as probably the main example, is like once I beat Mom in that, the final boss,
You
I just
felt
quit.
like you couldn't keep playing, yeah.
But like it was obviously just a tiny fraction of what the intended experience was. Like
Yeah.
there's all these unlockable characters, and I'm like, I don't want to unlock these. I don't want to play as all these different characters. I don't want to experience any of this stuff. This isn't my thing. This is a certain kind of person's, crack cocaine.
It's me.
Yeah?
I'm not that into Isaac, but yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is unlocking characters. I want to see every single character and every single playstyle and know how it changes.
That's why gacha games are a thing, because that's a very psychologically controlling
And that's
idea.
why I don't play them.
Yeah, just don't even touch them.
I might play one of them because I signed up for the demo or the beta, but we'll see. Claire Obscura. So I think we both know multiple people who raving about this game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in particular, we got Mike who fucking loves it.
Oh, I didn't realize Mike played it.
Mike played it and loved it.
And it's a JRPG, so
Yes, but it has a lot of parry mechanics.
interesting.
Yeah, have you seen anything about it?
Okay, so I watched Jacob Geller's essay on it, and
Gotcha.
he does a full story spoiler breakdown, where he very, very prosaically describes the beauty and of the story and themes and stuff of that game. And yeah, I get why people are like,
What I find kind of interesting
geeking
about
out.
Claire Obscura, if I'm not mistaken, I have obviously not played it or touched it. Its music it's a very musical game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very intrinsic to music.
Well, I would say in the same way that Final Fantasy was famous for its music, and that it had a really, really skilled composer that did these giant epic classical pieces that burned into people's brains.
What I mean is the music is a core part of it, is it not?
I do not know enough about the game to know if it affects gameplay in any way.
What I found interesting is I noticed that when I was playing Silksong, the music was very integral to the experience, and it was a big part of it, and a lot of especially with the Clockwork Dancers we both talked about before. I think have you talked about them?
I don't think so.
Okay,
That's fine. I don't care. Spoil it.
it's not. I'm not going to spoil it. It's just the boss.
There's Clockwork Dancers. Okay.
Now you know that.
I know that.
But that's a particular fight where that kind of the music became so relevant, and I thought that was interesting parallel with Claire Obscura.
I had an interesting analogy about music and video games that I wanted to try to share in an appropriate spot, but I guess I can just bring it up here. So, in old ass cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, let's go back even further. You got comic strips,
Comic strips.
on paper, sequences of images telling a story without dialogue, right?
Yep.
Then you got basic ass animation. You got your early ass animation, like Merry Melodies, Silly Symphonies.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff by Disney. These cartoon shorts that were so limited were animations set to music, and the music is doing a huge part of telling the story.
Yeah, it's keeping that pace.
Exactly. And then you get something like Fantasia.
Yeah.
Where it's supposed to be the opposite, where it's the animation that's informing you about the music to tell you the music story, if that makes any sense. And then finally, bringing up video games, and one of the reasons I make a big deal about music is because I play lots of retro games and a lot of platformers specifically, where it's, again, the music is like in an old cartoon, where it's informing you heavily about the story and the emotional, thing.
It is bringing you forward, yeah. It doesn't notice as much. It's not really as relevant as much in newer games, but Silksong is one of the ones where it's a big element I noticed, I don't usually notice.
Well, I think there was a very big period of time where more immersive soundtracks were becoming more and more popular. Less earworm melodies like there used to be in the old retro days, where they had to compose a little jingle that wasn't fucking annoying to hear on loop.
They
over
needed
and over
a MIDI.
Again. Exactly.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Bonanza. It's a really cool, popular. It looks fun as shit. I wish
it's
I had
on
a
Switch 2.
Specifically, I wish I could play that one.
It's on Switch 2. I don't have a Switch 2.
The funny thing is, if you hit the View More thing, and it gives you the highest rated things of the game. There are some missing items. Technically, the highest rated game this year is still Tears of the Kingdom, but it's the Nintendo Switch 2 version.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
Let's see. Trials of the Sky. Is this a thing that you'd be into?
So Trails in the Sky is a JRPG from I can't remember when it is. I think it's a PS2 game originally.
Am I incorrectly assuming this has something to do with Trials of Mana?
No, it's a Neon Falcon JRPG. It's not has nothing to do with Trials of Mana, which
Okay,
is a
it's
Square
just
Enix one.
like a coincidental name.
Yeah, JRPGs they love to have like a naming convention. Like this is the Trails of series as opposed to the
Oh, it's
Mana
Trails
series.
of Oh my! I said Trials.
Yeah, it's
That's
Trails.
right. That's where I got confused.
But that's a remake of a game, and apparently it's a ridiculously good remake of a ridiculously good game that some people really really love, but other people don't care about because it's a JRPG.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just cop to it. I'm one of those two.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
That's another one I'm surprised isn't bigger than like it is.
I think the main reason is because when it came out, it had really, really bad optimization, and it was really bad on your PC. I think they've probably fixed a lot of that, but it's also a Capcom game, and Capcom are fucking annoying.
Capcom. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be part of our games industry news. Do you want to move on from the top games and talk about some other stuff?
Yeah, actually,
Like, there's
you know
been
what?
interesting announcements this week.
I do want to do that, but I also want to point out that Keep Driving is here.
Okay, I didn't recognize that one when I was looking at this list this morning.
Keep Driving is a game that I have not played, but has been on my fucking radar the entire time it's been out.
Oh,
dude.
that's beautiful. That is some gorgeous pixel art.
Do they have the one image? They don't have the one image. You also do Resident Evil style inventory management.
View all screenshots. Like Resident Evil, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have passengers, and then you can put all this cool stuff.
Oh, you do the inventory management in the car.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I haven't played it, but this is definitely a game I'm very, very interested in. And you can get different vehicles, it looks like.
It's another incredibly highly rated game this year.
Yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to check out before the end of the year.
Good year for video game releases.
So tell me, Ben, about the news you wanted to tell me about.
Well, that was all the good news from the video games industry. Is all of the good games.
No.
Now we're just going to start talking about all the bad news.
Oh no, the bad news.
Let's start with the least bad in terms of what you care about.
Okay.
Capcom Cup is going to be a paid subscription this year.
I hate the sentence Capcom Cup without knowing what it is.
So Capcom Cup is Capcom's official fighting game tournament that they hold. Because they have, a bunch of different fighting games besides Street Fighter.
That makes sense.
And not to mention multiple versions of Street Fighter are still competitively played.
Right.
But Capcom Cup last year was a big deal because they had a massive prize pool, like an over $1 million prize pool because of
that's cool.
Street Fighter 6 release, because you're trying to promote esports and stuff like that. Street Fighter 6 has been doing incredibly well in Japan. It is the most popular fighting game by far.
Really? That's cool.
And it's been, pretty big, in the West as well, especially because Tekken hasn't been doing as well because of some, balance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't follow Tekken news as much. I love Street Fighter. But yeah, it's just, they're making it a paid subscription. You can't watch Capcom Cup. It used to be something that anyone could, tune in for free to stream. There'd be, fighting game commenters who would restream it and do their stuff. And it just sucks. It's greedy and it's shitty, and fuck you, Capcom.
It sounds like they're trying to kill it.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Because,
it just feels greedy. It feels so greedy.
I don't understand. I don't see the appeal, or the appeal from their perspective of trying to make it subscription-based.
I think they're focusing mostly on the Japanese region, because a lot of Japanese developers will do that, and they're just saying, okay, we have the numbers that if we charge a subscription fee this year, they will pay it and we will make a killing.
I just don't. I feel like they would make more money off ads.
Yeah, but they will still be making money off ads.
I guess. That's insane. That really sucks.
It does suck. And I don't play Street Fighter 6. I don't play a lot of fighting games besides Smash, but I like watching it. And it sucks that I just can't watch that this year. Last year, the Capcom Cup was really exciting.
Yeah, I bet. That's really upsetting. I did not know that was a thing. Fuck you, Capcom.
Fuck you, Capcom. That's going to be a running theme.
Also, fuck you, Capcom, for putting a bunch of microtransactions in Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Dragon's Dogma is the worst game to put the worst Capcom game, because it's an RPG, damn it.
The annoying thing is that most of them are fucking useless.
That's so obnoxious.
One of them gives you a key that you will find within the first 10 minutes of the game.
If you know about the recent history of Capcom, there was a while there where they were close to going out of business.
Good.
And they only survived off of making money off of Street Fighter V, skins.
I thought they also...
that's why they have so many horny skins in that game.
I thought there was a lot of, BioWare, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard
That
You've integrated a
was
lot.
well. That was one of the marks of Capcom digging themselves out of that hole.
Okay.
Was the release of Resident Evil 7 and also Monster Hunter World and also whichever patch of Street Fighter 5 finally made people stop hating that game
Yeah.
because everyone hated Street Fighter 5. It killed Street Fighter for a while, which is really sad for me because I like Street Fighter.
I mean,
Anyway,
I'm not happy about it.
so speaking of fuck Capcom, to the next.
Next bad news.
Next one I want to say is fuck Microsoft. You heard about the Game Pass price hike?
I saw that. I saw that the page went down because so many people were returning it.
A 50% price hike.
Okay. Here's my problem.
Okay.
I am not a fan of Microsoft, and I don't agree. I don't like a lot of things about it.
So I've never been a fan of Microsoft either, but I got to grow up during Microsoft's best period of a developer when the 360 was at its
Yeah,
height.
so did I. Here's the thing. The problem I have with Game Pass is not even technically really the price. It's the fact that it exists at all.
Yeah, it has a really bad effect on the entire industry.
It's the same thing that Netflix did, and Netflix's prices have gone fucking ridiculous for the exact same reason. And the reason is because this concept makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, well, everyone was like, they can't possibly be making a profit off of that. They have to pay for so many licenses to have all these games available day one on
They
Game Pass.
definitely are not making a profit off of it. I guarantee you.
And then, like, what was the plan? And the thing is that, like, if we look at the actual, like, market rates and shit of, like, Netflix and, like, all these subscription services, all these companies are bleeding money. They're doing really bad. Like, this Game Pass was a massive fucking failure.
It's the same thing that Uber did. They're killing an industry.
Yeah.
It's the whole point. They know they're going to lose it, but if they can make Game Pass like worth it, they can make Game Pass in everybody's house and everybody's home, and everybody has to pay for Game Pass. It's going to kill Steam. That's their theory.
Well, I don't think it's going to kill Steam.
It's not going to kill. Obviously, it's not going to kill Steam.
People don't have to pay a $30 subscription to just use Steam.
Yeah. And I'm not going to pretend like Game Pass doesn't have benefits because I've used Game Pass. There are times when I'm like, I want to check out this game, but I know I'm not going to play it after this 4-hour period.
But that's the thing. Like, it will let you demo games you otherwise wouldn't play, but for games that you do actually care about, it cheapens the experience.
Yeah.
It cheapens the value of that game.
I can give you 2 examples. I played the Patrick Star video game that came out for SpongeBob.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's basically just Goat Simulator, but get Patrick.
Lovely. That's a great idea.
It's a perfect idea.
Hats off to those developers.
The game is not good.
Okay.
It's just poorly made. It's not like they're trying, but like it's obviously like a cash grab thing.
Yeah, it's a license.
This is why I played it on Game Pass because obviously I just wanted to try it and I had some fun with it, but I'm never going to pick it up again. I also played the Oblivion remake on Game Pass because I didn't have the money to buy it at the time.
Yeah, and that's a game that...
And now my save is gone because I stopped paying for it.
That's a big budget game, and like that's something that was a lost sale to Microsoft and Bethesda because they bought Bethesda. God, fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah,
fuck you, Microsoft.
I don't think I'm gonna buy the remake now because I played a shitload of it, but like also like fuck, dude, like what the fuck.
So the funniest thing is that this price hike is following the last headline that I like because I was gonna bring up a different headline related to Microsoft, but this price hike thing came up yesterday. From time of recording.
I would like to quickly make my final point on the price hike.
Yeah.
It sucks for people who like Game Pass. I just kind of wish Game Pass would die, though.
Okay. I think it's going to.
I want it to.
So, the other headline I was going to say before the price hike became the more interesting one is Costco is stopped carrying Xbox Series X and Series S consoles. They're not going to carry any more Xbox stuff.
Wow, that's interesting. Why?
Because it's not selling. And I also learned some really interesting statistics, which is one of those, like, these are the narratives that, you know, the industry gives us that we never fucking really think about.
Yeah.
Because you've mentioned before, you named the Wii U as, like, wasn't that, like, that most hated, like, Nintendo... No, you said the Virtual Boy was, like, the most hated Nintendo
Virtual
culture.
Boy, yeah.
But then the Wii U, until the Wii U. So the Wii U, its third year.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, its fourth year of that it was released. Sold more units than Xbox Series X and S did combined in its third year.
That is not surprising to me in the slightest.
Yeah, like, the Xbox is bombing harder than the Wii U did.
Here's the thing about the Xbox. Nobody knows what the fuck it's called.
Yeah! That, like, why did they do that? Everyone complained last time, and then they doubled down, and then they tripled down, and then they quadrupled down.
Didn't make any sense.
Why did they do that?
This is why Microsoft taking on a monopoly in the American industry, which I'm not going to go into full depth for because I'll get too angry, is so insane to me. They are so bad at making a video game company.
Yeah.
They're so bad at it.
I just can't.
I don't understand, and because I'm trying to be like, well, they want to make money. That's the purpose of a corporation. But their choices...
They're really bad at it, in my opinion.
Their
They're not
choices...
selling Xboxes, and they're overcharging for fucking their subscription, and it had a bunch of people cancel it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, okay, it doesn't affect them too much if to not sell a bunch of their consoles as much as you would imagine, because Microsoft care more nowadays about PC integration. Because the Xbox, as you know, both the Xbox and the PS4 and the PlayStation, they've always been ran at a loss.
Yeah.
You buy the console, you buy this game, or the thing, so you can get the games. That's where they make the money. It makes sense to me that they wouldn't focus as much on the Xbox, whatever it's called, Series X, whatever
Series
the
S.
fuck, and focus more on PC. But why make the fucking console? And why name it? I could complain to you for such a long time about that name and the names of the Battlefield games.
Oh my god.
I hate the names of the Battlefield games.
The millennial gamer in me, who grew up with the Xbox 360, because the Xbox 360 was a legitimately great system. Let's do a shout out to that, like, fucking classic goddamn system.
It was. Like, okay, first gen systems were terrible because they red ringed all the time. But after that,
yeah,
they made an excellent system that it was so accessible. Everybody could use it. It ran fucking Netflix. It did all your entertainment. It was a video game. It was perfect. I think it was better than the PS3, and I liked the PS3 more.
I like the PS3 more too, but like when the Red Ring sucked.
Yeah.
But the PS3 had a different problem in that it was way too expensive to buy.
Way too expensive.
And it was way too difficult to develop games for, so it had no fucking games. And like the PS3 eventually would actually compete with the 360 by the end of its lifespan, but not until after they drastically cut the price and also
removed the backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of problems that they had to fix that ended up making kind of arguably the whole industry worse as a result of them not allowing backwards compatibility. Then for the PS4 has no games. It just didn't do as well. And then but their competition was the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Which is another terrible name.
And like everyone would shit talk the Switch for a long time for not having games. Like it had Breath of the Wild, and then eventually a Mario Odyssey, and it had tons of Wii U remakes, which a lot of people, sold well, but a lot of people criticized.
And Origami King.
Well, there's a bunch of things. Like they would talk about like for years and years, like the Switch doesn't have games, and more games would be added, and they'd be like, the Switch doesn't have games, and like more games keep getting added, and the Switch doesn't have games. I'm like, this is an unfair standard that every console goes through. The PS4 didn't have games. The PS5 doesn't have games right now, in my opinion.
It doesn't. It has, God of War?
It has God of War.
It's got Astrobot.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. It's got the new, what's the other FromSoft one? Armored Core. I mean, that's technically on PC and Xbox as well, but...
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's kind of like it, though.
But that's like the problem. Yeah, it has got the Demon Souls remake.
Yeah, you got the Demon. That's why that's one of the main reasons that some people have it.
I mean, technically, like all the big AAA experiences, you can play on your PS5 or you can play on PC.
And it's like, why the fuck would I buy a PS5?
Well, I mean, plenty of more people do that than they play on Xbox Series X.
Apparently.
So, like, the PS5 is doing fine. I'm not criticizing the PS5. I'm just saying when people like complain about a system not having games, I'm like, it's not going to feel like it has games until the fucking lifespan of the console's almost dead.
I will say another issue with the Switch and Nintendo in general is that they never reduce the prices of their games ever.
Oh, no. So did you know the gaming did a couple of specials on, like, some recent Nintendo history and, like, just talk about trends and stuff? And they wanted to make the argument that, like, technically if you're a Nintendo fan, the worst selling systems are the ones that are better for you, because that's the ones where you get more Nintendo games and, they actually discount them and stuff like that because they're trying to get them sold and stuff. Whereas, like, the Switch did really, really well, so you get less Nintendo-developed games. You get no price drops at all. they take full advantage of the fact that people are buying everything up.
It was so annoying to me when Mario Maker was still being sold that it was the same price as Mario Maker 2.
Yep.
Like, what are you fucking talking about?
The fucking Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze going up in price from $50 to $60, even though it's the same game.
It's fucking, like, what are you talking about?
I mean, it could have been released for $60 in the first place, but it wasn't because the Wii U was failing.
I mean, we haven't even brought up the fucking Virtual Boy thing being $100 fucking dollars.
Yeah, fuck you, Nintendo. Add it to the pile. Fuck Microsoft. Fuck Nintendo. Fuck Capcom. You just fuck Square Enix because I just don't like Square Enix.
I was gonna bring up Konami. Fuck Konami.
Fuck Konami. Actually, people are happy with Konami because apparently that Metal Gear Solid 3
Metal Gear Solid
good.
Delta is good. But also, fuck Konami.
But fuck Konami, because I don't like Konami.
I know, like, that was just like a few developers who were like, "Can we please make something that isn't a pachinko machine?" They're like, "Will it make money?" And they're like, "It'll make so much money."
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta or whatever is not on our top games list, but
no,
I know people are happy with it. I know that it's doing well, and combine that with like Death Stranding right now, people are loving Kojima as a creator once again.
Yeah, I haven't. This is not even in the top 20, which is kind of crazy.
So the final crazy games industry news, and it's definitely the most crazy and the most well-known. Like, I'm sure people are not going to be learning about it from this podcast.
Right.
But EA was just the subject of the largest forced buyout in history.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And that's insane. I mean, first of all, with these forced buyout situations, like we've seen this happen a bunch of times, it always means the company is going to die.
Pretty much.
Always. But again, when we look at who bought them, it's like, okay, the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, Jared Kushner's company.
Yep.
And like some other thing. It's like, what the actual fuck is happening in reality right now?
Why?
Like, yeah, why?
And a bunch of people, I know that a bunch of people are very happy with it because they think that the games will improve as a result.
They're not going to, well, no, what's going to happen is the games are going to be bad. EA's going to be bad. They're going to go out of business. They're going to sell the IPs. And then eventually, hopefully, those IPs will be owned by corporations who will make good games with them. But that's not a guarantee at all. They could very well just continue making bad games.
I want Devolver Digital to own all of EA games. I don't know how that'll affect anything, but it'll be interesting.
Well, the big things, they own FIFA, they own Maxis, they own God, there's so much. They own do they still own the Star Wars franchise IP rights and stuff?
I don't know if they still have them, but they definitely did. No, they don't, because Outlaws came out and that was Ubisoft.
But yeah, like EA is in its death knell.
Yeah.
Like we can actually say that now. It's like EA is going to die off, and it might.
Which is insane.
If they're lucky, they'll last another 12 years, like Toys R Us did when they got bought out.
The fact that EA is going to die doesn't make sense to me because there's no scenario where like Madden didn't make enough money.
Right.
Like Madden is such a cash cow, and it's awful because it's exploiting a bunch of people who really like sports. But oh my god, does that game make money? How do you not have enough money to survive when you fucking have Madden?
I mean,
and 2K.
To be fair, it is the biggest forced buyout of all time. It's not like it doesn't help that money is so pooled into small places. Whatever. Economics is weird and complicated and awful.
And not the point of this podcast. But we forgot about Death Stranding, too. That's why I brought this up. So I had to put...
For what? When we're talking about...
It's a PS5 game.
Oh, it is a PS5. Yeah, Death Stranding 2, PS5.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you, but that's why this is here.
Well, I was saying before, I didn't want to not criticize Sony for not having enough games in the PS5, because I think that's an unfair criticism.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I think that the Microsoft gaming industry is going to die too. I'm
hoping.
To me, this looks very clearly like this is just like when Sega died. Like they're just making fuck up after fuck up after fuck up, generation after generation. They're just going to pull the plug on the Microsoft's games.
I have
division.
seen that the person who owns or like one of the people that operate the Saudi Arabian company is a really big gamer.
Yeah.
That's why people are really hoping that this is a good turnaround.
Well,
I doubt it.
So it's an unrelated thing, but like Saudi Arabia is just investing a lot of money in a lot of different media and cultural things. They're trying to attract tourists. They're trying to like turn Dubai into the next Las Vegas playground of the rich kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I'm into boxing. Never brought it up on the podcast before, but like I like watching like big
Yeah, you were really into boxing. We've talked about it a couple times.
And
outside of this,
there were some major fights that happened that only could happen because they were hosted in Dubai because the Turkish Al Rashik, I can't remember the fuck's name. I was able to watch like these massive fights for free on fucking YouTube.
yeah,
Like normally these are pay-per-view events, but like Dubai is just using it as free marketing for their tourism industry.
it's the same. It's kind of the same thing we've been seeing. It's like, industry gets really big, they attract a lot of people, they change their industry, and now it's worse.
Did you hear about the big stand-up special that a lot of comedians got invited to?
I did not to.
It's super controversial.
I did not.
It's another Saudi Arabian funded thing.
I'm not surprised that they all went.
And well, it's a lot of comedians that you would expect, a lot of canceled ones like Louis C.K. was there, Dave Chappelle went. A lot of like comedians I don't give a shit about, but like the one that everyone's really upset about is Bill Burr.
Bill Burr?
Yeah, Bill Burr went, and he defended it. And, like, other comedians like David Cross are calling them all fucking scumbag sellouts, pieces of shit. Like, there is a lot of bad blood now between these comedians that went and the other comedians who would have abstained from that.
I wouldn't be surprised about Bill Burr, but he has talked openly about how much he fucking hates Star Wars, and he was in Star Wars, so... whatever the price is... I mean, they probably paid him more.
I'm not a comedy fan. Like, I don't watch stand-up comedians like a lot of people do.
I love stand-up comedians generally, but like it's been an industry that I've been trying to ignore more recently for personal reasons.
It hasn't been a very fun industry to be into, mostly because of the effects of media, of the internet and social media and everything else on it.
Yeah,
but yeah. So that's our starting topic: games industry stuff.
That was sad.
Yeah. But at least we got some good games. But you remember before I talked about it. Doesn't matter how bad the games industry is doing. You're always going to get good games.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, I think it's time to talk about Twilight Imperium.
Yes. Okay. Tell me about the new Twilight Imperium expansion, please.
Bump. All right.
Oh, it's another This is the fucking PowerPoint podcast right here.
That's right, motherfucker.
This is our second podcast about Twilight Imperium so far. We've had 2 podcasts about Metroid so far.
This is our third.
Oh, so I kept on saying podcast. I meant PowerPoint.
Yes. Okay. So the new factions of Twilight Imperium. Couple things of note. As I said earlier, this information, some of it is incomplete because not all of it was out when I made this. Ben doesn't know any of this. Roughly.
Well, we were just talking about before we started recording. How about we start with that?
Yeah. So there was also a controversy recently. A YouTuber who has a name, I am led to believe. I'm sure that in time I will be able to tell you that name. That name is Crabok.
Crabok. Thank you for having this written down.
Crabok made a very long Twilight Imperium Thunder's Edge expansion. What's the term?
An unboxing.
Video. It's 33 minutes long, and he looks at like literally every single piece in the entire thing.
Yep.
And a lot of the new art looks really cool, by the way, which I don't have on here, but it looks dope. As it would turn out, Krabak was not supposed to fucking do that.
Yes, so he got the game for review. He was supposed to be under embargo.
Yep, and then there was a miscommunication, so he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he released his video, and a bunch of people were like, "You weren't supposed to fucking do that." And he was like, "Oh no,"
because the Twilight Imperium, when I haven't followed the news cycle for this expansion, but the last expansion they had a very, very carefully rolled out marketing promotion thing where they would reveal new elements, new parts of the expansion, week by week with various like Twilight Imperium creators like Dane Beltrami, the designer of Twilight Imperium, would go on the podcast
Space Cats and Peace Turtles
and stuff like that.
I believe he just went on it recently to do an interview with them, another one about the expansion. They have a whole bunch of stuff, but this guy accidentally fucked it all up because he didn't know he was under embargo. And Fantasy Flight did something unprecedented.
I'd say unprecedented.
They were really fucking cool about it. Yeah. They were like, this is our responsibility. We fucked up. We didn't tell people the right amount of times. We're going to just lift the embargo.
Yeah, so now all the info about the expansion is just out in the open for anybody to see and learn about.
That's why some of this is incomplete.
Yeah, you made the PowerPoint before that happened.
I made this PowerPoint last Saturday because I noticed, because like after we recorded, whenever that was, Friday probably, I noticed that they had the new factions released. They did a whole thing where they went over each faction, and people on the wiki had made each individual, like, all the information available. And I was like, that's dope. I'm going to make this, and then we're going to talk about it.
So I said I wasn't going to look into Twilight Imperium because I already wasn't looking into it, and you're like, hey, I'm going to use this as a thing on the podcast. But I did look a little bit about it. I was looking more at the Thunder's Edge mechanics specifically and how, like, that works.
And that I didn't look into too much.
Well, I still don't know exactly how it plays out, but the idea is that there's a planet that is off the map, and everybody buys a slice of.
Yeah, pretty
and the
much.
different slices cost a different amounts. And they didn't explain exactly, but like some of it will be resources, some of it will be trade goods, some of it will be influence. One of it, I think, is a secret objective, which is wild to me. Like, I don't think you want to buy that one first. I want to save that slice for last, whoever,
One thing I gotta say I don't know if I like about it is that, like, what you get for doing that is a breakthrough. It's like a new mechanic.
Yeah, it's a asymmetrical thing where it's different for every single faction.
Yes, and I did not talk about this in this because we don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Conceptually, and at the time we knew even less.
It modifies every existing faction in the game. It's going to take too long to get into that.
It does. It also modifies some of these factions are like built around the idea. I think I mentioned it once in one of them. So that's important. But the thing I don't like about it is that you can potentially not get yours.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. I'm like, oh, okay. But at the same time, some breakthroughs are way stronger than others.
Yes.
It's kind of like flagships, where it's like, if you're playing Hakan, you don't buy the flagship because it sucks.
Yeah.
You only buy it because you've got so much money you don't know what to do with. In this case, it's like, do you try to conquer a slice of Thunder's Edge? Well, if you're Arborek, yes, you have to.
Yeah.
But if you're another faction, maybe. It might work well into your game plan, or you might try to do something different.
There's also a whole lot of other stuff I haven't looked into. I did look at the video a bit. I was at work when our friend Eric, shout out to Eric, linked it in the Discord. And I noticed that there was a tile on it, a space tile for the new, like, fractured area on the outside of the map.
Yeah.
And it immediately pissed me the fuck off because it's two tiles into one. So instead of being one hexagon, it's two mixed.
It completely ruins your hex map idea.
It ruins my hex map idea completely.
Like, they have, like, all these wonky multi-hex tiles that they're adding in with this expansion, which is going to ruin everything. I was excited about that because I'm like, oh, we can use it to create more interesting maps. And you're like,
it's
no!
Cool. It's cool, but I'm making a whole lot of stuff for an insert for a board game, and now not everything's uniform.
They hate the idea that you might actually fit everything into one box one day.
They do. They also had a lot of inserts for the new expansion, which is total bullshit because there were none in the last two fucking boxes.
There's a lot of...
but whatever.
A lot of the new factions, they've got, like, special components, don't they? I saw that much.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about the new factions.
Bap. We're going to start with Last Bastion.
These guys seem boring as fuck. This is the only one I saw because it was announced with the announcement of Thunder's Edge.
I had to clarify one thing. You'll notice this is blurry as fuck. The image that they posted on their thing was terrible and impossible to read. So all of the information that you need to read is here. That's what this... My hand's there, but the blue area, that's where the information that's on the card is. So we can go over that real quick. Liberate. When you gain control of a planet, ready that planet. If it contains a number of infantry equal to or greater than the planet's resource value. Otherwise, place one infantry on that planet. That's fucking insane as an ability.
So, I mean, that's a lot like the L1Z1X's ability to steal people's structures when they capture their planets, but this is stealing all their infantry?
No. When you gain control of a planet, you ready it immediately if your infantry is equal to or greater than their resource. So any planet. And if they don't have it, they just get a free infantry.
Okay, so that would be really good on low resource cost, massive influence planets.
Yeah, like, for example, Mechatol Rex.
If they capture it with more than 2 infantry, which they probably will.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Galvanize. When a game effect instructs a player to galvanize a unit, they place a galvanized token beneath it.
Okay.
If it does not have one, galvanized units roll one. If it does not have one, galvanized units roll 1 additional die for combat rolls and unit abilities.
I hate that. That's so annoying. So you have to put little tokens down under each individual soldier to remember that it rolls extra
I actually
dice.
don't think it's going to be that bad, but it is kind of annoying.
I'm assuming that the reason it exists is so that galvanized can be a galvanized unit can be affected by other abilities.
Probably, yeah. It's also because like the galvanized unit specifically is really fucking good. Phoenix Standard. At the end of combat, you may galvanize one of your units that participated. So every combat, they can just bam, you're galvanized, assuming they win. So their space stock is a planet +2. The resource value of this planet is increased by 1. Up to 3 fighters in the system do not count against your capacity.
What's the difference between that space stock and a regular space stock? I do not remember the stats.
The
of
resource
regular space
value
stock.
is increased by 1.
That's it? So
Yeah.
it's just slightly higher production? I mean, no, I mean, that is big.
That's big.
That is big. That's actually massive.
But the rest of it's pretty much the same.
So, do we have their home planet stats by chance?
Stats, no. Not in this copy. It's probably out now, but I will get into their home planet. It's one of the things down here.
Ah.
Flagship ability +1 to the result. Apply +1 to the results of each of this unit's combat rolls for each non-home system that contains a planet you control.
Each non-home system. Interesting.
Yes. So if you own like 20, if you own like 5 planets, then this 9 combat up here gets reduced to 4, effectively.
Okay.
The more planets you own, the more powerful your flagship is. It's similar to is it Winu who has a similar thing?
Yeah, but Winu specifically about like defending Mechatol Rex.
Yeah. Only one of the only 2 factions in the game that doesn't start with the.
You love that.
I mentioned this last time, but last time we didn't have the rest of the factions out. So this little fact is now actually true. It is one of the only factions in the game that doesn't have the, and I have no idea why.
Yeah, because the Last Bastion sounds like a good enough name.
So does the Sardak Nor. But it's not. It's Sardak Nor and Last Bastion. Home system is a legendary planet.
Oh!
And a nebula.
Oh!
You may exhaust this card when you pass to draw 1 action card and gain 1 command token.
That's clever. Making it a legendary planet is cool.
Isn't it crazy? That ability to, after every round, you just get an additional action card and command token? That's insane.
Yeah.
Very fighty faction. Most galvanization comes from combat. Yeah, so I didn't go over every single thing that that gives them galvanization, but it almost all comes from combat. And the more they fight, the better their units are going to be, and the stronger they're going to be continually. It's kind of insane. The commander removes the ability for other players to sabotage Last Bastion, and Necro cannot assimilate them.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they get like a special you can't fuck with me, I'm too powerful for both the Cyril and Necro, which is insane to me.
So this is a very this is another heavy combat faction, but not... yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to him, man. It's crazy. You can trade galvanization with your agent. When a player's unit is destroyed, you may exhaust this card to galvanize another of that player's units in the destroyed system. So you can be like, hey, do you want to? You can, if you and Mike are fighting, I can be like, hey, do you want me to galvanize one of your units? 5 trade goods, and he'll be like, 5's a little bit steep. But I'll be like, but you get a +1 if you win.
The theme of this faction is so boring to me.
Isn't it?
Like,
so annoying.
Humans are already the most boring faction,
without a doubt,
because they're just humans, but they have a place in the system. Like, the Last Bastion, I mean, I see a human character on the front, so I assume it's mostly a human thing.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's like the Mentak coalition,
I think
where it's like a coalition of aliens.
It's definitely multiple, because the freaking Nazroka are there. That's like their agent or something.
I'm just gonna say it. I hope that the Last Bastion is the least interesting of these factions, because it's not that great.
Developers claim the idea behind the Last Bastion is that they're really good at operating with limited resources. I worry that they may be a bit too powerful with the sheer amount of stuff they're getting off the bat. The extra action card and command tokens passing for passing is very strong. Their biggest drawback is the most of their strength comes from fighting. Might be one of the most fighty factions yet, on par with Necro. Also, a much better at trading their main mechanic than Necro is. Because Necro, the idea is that you can trade to get tech. That's what you do. I'll send a ship this way. You let me kill it. I get a tech from you.
Yeah, it's a difficult negotiating game you play.
But this is like, you fight anyone who isn't even me, and I'll just give you a galvanization. Give me whatever you want.
Because you want to just keep fighting to keep boosting your units, and you want to keep on building lots and lots of units, because you got those space stocks, and you want to control as many planets as possible, because it's boosting up your everything.
And you can also be like, if I'm like, I want you and I to fight, Ben. I want to fight you. I'll give you a galvanized unit if you retreat, and I'll get myself a galvanized unit.
Neat.
Yeah. I'm these are the of all of them. If we were to rank them, I think this might be the most broken.
You think so? It's definitely the most boring.
It's definitely the most boring, but it might be the most broken. This next one, I think you're gonna be more interested in. The Deep Rock Scholaret.
Wait, they're more fish people? Are they related to Jolnar?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
they are straight up. They are actually. I think if you ever read the book, the RPG book, I think they're in it.
The actual tabletop RPG, you mean?
Yeah.
I have read a little bit of that, but it's
Pretty sure they're in it.
I kind of hate that game.
Yeah. Research team. When ground forces are committed, if your units are on the planet already not coexisting, you may choose for your units to coexist.
What does that mean, coexist?
We'll get into kind of it to a degree. At the time of making this, they didn't really explain it.
Okay.
When your units begin coexisting on a planet, gain an ocean card and ready it. Anytime you have more ocean cards than there are planets,
Then there are planets that you
discard
have.
the cards you don't need. So if there are places, if you have more ocean cards than planets that you're on, get rid of the ocean cards you shouldn't have.
So I'm gonna guess coexisting means they're allowed to share a planet with another faction.
It does, but like what the implications of that are not fully explained, or at least weren't at this stage.
Yeah, because like Twilight Imperium is a very risk style. Like only one person is allowed to control a planet. That's how it works.
They are the only one that controls the planet, but you are also just there.
Really weird.
Yeah. Flagship. This ship can move through systems that contain your units even if other players' units are present. If it would, apply +1 to the move value for each of those systems.
So, this is a new peace faction. This is a new Imperium, new space turtles.
It's weird.
It's super weird.
Can create ocean cards and spread without spreading. Each ocean is a 1/1.
What does that mean?
So that's what they're doing every time they get on a planet. They go onto a planet and they go, bam, I'm here now. They get an ocean card. The ocean card's a 1/1. They don't do anything else. They're just not. They haven't taken the planet. They're just there.
So if they're allowed to be on another person's planet, they can't spend the planet because the other person owns it. But they get a 1/1 card to replace the planet.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to whatever planets they actually conquer, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
It is weird.
Not a fighting faction. Not even a little bit. This is very much the opposite of that. Yeah, I'll have to go into it. Highly tech-focused faction, much like Jolnar, but more focused on everybody and getting tech, which seems counterintuitive to a board game. A lot of their mechanics are based around the idea that they can spread tech.
Okay, like get other. Well, that was a big thing with Jolnar too, because they had the research pack where you're like anybody can get a tech that the Jolnar.
Yeah, but this is that. But Jolnar is mostly about getting themselves tech. This is them getting everybody tech.
Interesting.
Yeah, techs are kind of cracked. Hydrothermal mining. At the start of the status phase, gain 1 trade good for each ocean card in play. Radical advancement. At the start of the status phase, you may replace one of your non-unit upgrade technologies with a technology of the same color that is exactly one more prerequisite.
Okay, that hydrothermal mining thing makes those ocean cards make a lot more sense, because I'm like, a 1/1 is not a very good replacement for a planet, but getting just a trade good for every single one of those, yeah.
And then radical fucking advancement,
you may replace one of your non-unit upgrade techs with a technology. Isn't that just the ultimate ability of the Jolnar's hero?
I can't remember. Probably.
Okay, well, the Jolnar hero is like, okay, replace each of you, like, one of each tech color with another color tech up to, like, 1 higher.
Yeah.
And you literally just, like, jump up the tech tree. And
well, this is them doing that every round.
That's crazy.
And they're both 1 green prerequisite.
Wow.
1 green. Hero removes a non-unit tech from the game entirely for everyone.
What?
Everyone who loses a tech gets a new one.
You can just say, no, this technology is banned. We're not playing. You can just shut off.
You can shut off gravity drive.
You can shut off gravity drive. You can shut off light wave deflectors.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
I was like, that's so interesting. That's the most interesting thing to me about these guys.
I want you to play this faction.
Wait. There's other factions, man. You got to see. Coexistence is really weird and not well explained as of yet. I don't really see the value of power of this faction at the moment. It feels like you lose a lot of planet-specific points while also giving away a lot of tech. It will depend greatly on how coexistence actually functions, but at the moment it seems weak to me. Feels like a faction built for a team game. I think the mechanic will only be used opportunistically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I just don't. I can't. In my head, I can't really imagine the point of trying to coexist a lot when you can take the planet. that sounds better to me, even if you get one trade good. But I don't know.
There's probably because we know our agents, command and hero and everything
They
yet?
explained a lot of them. I tell you the agent and the hero. I can't remember what the commander was, but the ones if I didn't mention it, it's because it wasn't that interesting.
Got it.
But yeah, I don't know how to feel about them. These are like the least interesting. I shouldn't say interesting. These are the least broken to me. I think these are gonna just kind of be kind of weak.
I mean, they're cool.
They're cool.
I think it's kind of weird that they're just like, okay, they're more this is a subdivision of the Fishman faction. We are now, instead of coming up with brand new like alien races, we are now like coming up with faction divided.
Well, anyway.
Wait, are those
Now that you mention it,
are those evil ghosts of Kraos?
Sundered, you cannot use wormholes other than the Epsilon wormholes.
Because the ghosts of Kraos were not edgy enough for Mike. So now he's got a new... I bet he's going to love these guys. They look so cool. They look so... I mean, I love them already.
I can't wait for you to get down here. Sundered, you cannot use wormholes other than Epsilon wormholes.
What? Wait, the Epsilon wormholes are the Kraos... Like, that's just the Kraos flagship, isn't it?
No. It might be. I don't remember the Kraos. No, they have their own wormhole.
Epsilon. Yeah, no, that's Delta.
Epsilon.
It's the Delta
okay.
wormhole is the Kraos flagship and home system. Okay.
Yeah. Other players' units that move or are placed into your home system are destroyed, which means they can't lose it.
They can't lose their home system.
No.
I need this one.
Incursion. When you activate a system that contains a breach, you may flip that breach.
That's another special component for this faction.
Systems that contain an active breaches are adjacent. At the end of the status phase, any player with ships in system that contains an active breach may remove it.
Interesting. So they have their own new hazard tile that they add to the map.
It's not really a hazard tire. It's basically just their own version of a temporary wormhole.
Mm-hmm.
The Sorrow. That's their.
Their flagship?
No, it's not their flagship. That's just I called the flagship. I thought I might have not done that.
Oh.
When you create the game board, place the Sorrow tile 94 where your home system would be. Oh, it's just the same exact concept with the ghosts. They have their own separate thing.
That's a shame that. Well, I mean, I guess it is a subdivision of ghosts, but.
Flagship. When this unit is in a system that contains an active breach, other players' units in systems with active breaches lose all their unit abilities.
They just open up wormholes and destroy everything with the wormholes.
Yeah, well, with their flagship, yeah.
That's awesome.
Destroyer. At the end of any player's combat in this unit's system or adjacent systems, you may place an active breach in the system.
All right, so it's another destroyer faction.
So here's a couple of things to note even before we get to the bottom here. They don't have the +1.
What do you mean that?
You know how Ghosts has the +1 out of their home system so they don't lose...
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a huge penalty.
But
that's a massive penalty.
Their destroyers are +2, and they create the breaches.
That's a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't lose their home system, as I said earlier. They are incapable of losing their home system because you can't attack them. With Ghosts, you have to go into the Ghost's actual home system and attack their home system to get it out. They can't lose theirs at all because you can't enter it. If you do, you die.
That's really cool.
Kind of fighty faction. Yeah, they're fighty, but they're not like as fighty as other stuff. Because a lot of their stuff is built around the idea of getting you away from them more than fighting, I feel like. Interesting. Use the destroyers a lot for making breaches has Argent Spread vibes to me. Yeah, so getting your destroyers just out and then being able to kind of jump through everything and go wherever the heck you want seems really interesting to me as a mechanic. Fighting these guys with the breach in the system feels like it's going to be a bad time.
Yep.
Yeah, because they can hoover, you know? It's crazy. Agent swaps 2 ships. So, like, any two ships.
Okay.
So if you were like, I want the Dreadnought over here, and you have a destroyer there, but you have a Dreadnought over here, I'll be like, hey, let me just...
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool ability.
Commander pays you for fights, and Hero lets you commit 1 surprise fight. So with the Commander, you just get resources for doing fights.
Okay.
Which is why I'm saying it's kind of fighty. And then the Hero lets you just put a breach somewhere. Or no, the Hero lets you, whenever you're building stuff, you put units on the Hero.
Okay.
Separately to the build, like you pay for them, and then whenever you're like, I want to fight, I want to fucking take Mechatol, all the units on your hero, and you flip them, you put them on Mechatol.
You just okay. So you set aside units. You just have a build up force. So you keep building up, and then you just choose to release a breach and have them go anywhere.
Yep.
That is one of the coolest fucking hero abilities yet.
Coolest leaders yet
That's
to
cool
me.
As fuck. This cool faction's cool as. I want Mike to play them actually. I really enjoyed playing as ghosts a few times. So
Ghosts are dope as hell. Cursed Ghosts of Crius that have experienced the Torment Nexus seem like a really cool faction to play and a really awful faction to fight. As an old ghost head, might be my most anticipated faction.
I can see that.
Which is true. I really want to play these.
They're
ones.
edgy, but they're cool.
Should be noted that they don't have the +1 to move out of their sum system like ghosts, except with their breakthrough. Main movement comes from breaches, but their breakthrough does give them back that ability. But they don't have it originally.
It's a weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's strange. Includes its own version of the Ghost home system, which can be a pain to make a box for.
I hope it is at least the same shape, so you can put it in the same...
Roughly the same shape.
Roughly the same shape.
I think it just has some of the edges knocked off, but still. Fuck. The Raal Nel Consortium.
Oh, okay. So there is a new race, alien race. They're lizard guys. It looks like a gecko, actually.
Yeah. I thought he was an alligator when I was imagining this, but now I see him. He's definitely a gecko. Survival Instinct. After a player activates a system that contains your ships, you may move up to 2 of your ships into the active system from adjacent systems that do not contain your command tokens.
Okay, so you can quickly
funnel.
send reinforcements.
Yeah. Miniaturize. Your structures can be transported by any ships. This does not require or count against capacity. While your structures are in the space area, they cannot use their unit abilities. At the end of your faction action, you may place your structures that are in space areas onto planets you control within their respective systems.
They shrink their building? They miniaturize their buildings. That's what the ability is called. So they shrink a space dock down to the side. It doesn't take up any capacity.
No capacity.
That's so... Like, it's not as broken as the Sarball, but it is... Okay.
Destroyer. This unit can use the space cannon ability of one of your structures in its space area. Each structure can only be triggered once.
Ooh. Ooh. Wait, so you can... Because they don't take the capacity. So you just take a destroyer, and you just load it up with PDSs, and then you make a mini Lankara Sadu.
Yeah.
That's the Peace Turtles flagship, which is all about... Okay, that's so cool.
Flagship. When this unit retreats, you may destroy one ship in the active system that does not have sustained damage.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound that good, but...
It's okay. Dogpile faction. Going to be based a lot on steady, wide growth. Just continually getting up and then moving around.
Their destroyers have 3 movement from the start of the game. That's huge.
Kind of fighty faction. They're also really fighty. It's like, they could kind of do either way.
They don't have capacity, though. Not like Argent Flight ones. So
no.
You need to have... But it doesn't count against capacity. It does not require. That's so nuts.
Yeah. Destroyers are insane and get worse better. Upgraded. Each link ship can trigger the same structure.
So if you have...
upgraded destroyers...
So if you have 4 destroyers and 4 PDS, you can get 16 PDS shots off.
And your anti-fighter barrage.
And your anti-fighter barrage.
Unless you're fighting Crimson... I forget what the other one was called.
Okay, I think I love this faction. I think I will enjoy them the same way I enjoy Argent.
Other faction tech has 3 action abilities, add PDS to planet, repair units, cycle action cards. So this is the destroyers. That's one of their main faction techs. But their other one is it will add a PDS to a planet. It will repair the units, and it will repair all units, and it will cycle it through your action cards. So you can put back one up and put one down.
Oh, okay. That's part of their faction tech. Got it.
That is all at the same time. They'll do that at one.
Okay.
I think. I mean, I do. Agent gives the Raw Nail cards and another faction cards. Commander is the retreat half of dark energy tap. Hero lets you play after passing cracked. So yeah, the agent gives you and another player cards. You just get you and I get to have cards this time. We get them. Their commander is they can just retreat wherever they want, which is insane. And then their hero is after we're done passing, they play their hero and they get to go again.
So this is another combat faction, but I like them so much better than the Last Bastion. Maybe they're not as strong as the Last Bastion. I don't care.
Yeah, they're cool.
I love scrappy combat. That's why I love Argent Flight.
Corporate lizard people who wish to acquire debt. Ignore real-world implications. Feels like a slow faction that inches bit by bit into one system at a time, jumping anyone who attempts to stop them. Seems interesting to me. With a cracked hero, makes me want to play them too.
I mean, you say one system at a time, but those destroyers having 3 movement from the start of the game—that's huge.
Yeah, but they don't have any capacity, so I don't think you can capture like a planet with the space dock. So planets control. You control in this, yeah. So you can't use the space dock to capture a planet. So it's a lot, but yeah. We have to change the format to talk about the firmament.
So the firmament is a faction.
Yep.
And it's a weird faction.
The firmament were built for me specifically. I don't know how Dane Beltrami learned about me. He's got listening devices in the War Suns. What the fuck?
What is this faction?
Let me see. I hate them.
I thought you said it was made for you.
They are. So they're very much like a hidden. They're very much like a faction where you don't tell a lot of people. Okay, for people who don't play this game with me, I am the kind of player who I will tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need me to do, what I need you to do. I'm going to tell you how this affects me, how this affects you, and what will happen at the end of the game. And still, somehow, despite all of it, when I tell you all this information and you go follow through, you hate me for doing it.
Well, okay, the reason we hate you is because we're actually just as open about that stuff with you, but you're like, yeah, I don't believe you. Or, nah, I don't trust you. Or, I don't see how that's good for me.
It isn't good.
I hate negotiating with you, is all I'm saying.
My point is that is like kind of the antithesis of this faction. They're very much everything's on the table, but also you can't know about stuff, and I hate them.
They have a secret keeping component.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'll explain. Plots. These are the 2 faction abilities. Plots within plots. You can score secret objectives already scored by other players if you fulfill the requirements. This does not count against your secret objective limit or the number you can score in a round. But when you score another player's secret objective, you do not score victory points. Instead, you place a face-down plot card on your play area with that player's control token on it. Puppets of the Blade. If you have at least 1 plot card and you play in your play area, gain the following ability. Action. Purge the firmament's faction sheet, leaders, planet card, and promissory notes, then gain all the faction components for the Obsidian. There are 2 factions.
Wait, what?
There are 2 factions. This faction benefits greatly off of information obfuscation. Obfuscation? Obfuscation. The less you understand about their faction, the better they'll do. If you don't change up how you play, you will lose. If you score secret objectives, you will lose. If you don't score secret objectives, you will still lose. I'm exaggerating, but my point stands. This faction is very powerful and will affect play even if they never swap to the Obsidian.
Okay.
I don't feel good. This is good game design.
You're already like critiquing.
I am.
We haven't even played with it yet.
I am going to do everything within my power to explain how this faction works and functions when they're in the game, no matter what, because otherwise it's simply not fucking fair. Making a faction that benefits of other players not understanding it, which is inevitable at any table, seems counterintuitive, and I inherently do not like it.
Okay. Well,
you'll notice I'm keeping information from you.
Yeah, how does this work? I don't understand what's the fuck.
Silas will still fall for it.
Yeah, he will.
Every other faction at the table now has to greatly consider what secrets they score, and if the firmament can also score it.
So wait, how does the secret thing work? What does it have to do with secret objectives?
If they can score secret objectives that you've scored.
As instead of theirs?
No.
In addition to theirs.
In addition.
But they can score more than 3 secret objectives.
But they don't get points. That's what we'll go back. I'll just reread this to you. You can score secret objectives that have already scored by other players if you fulfill the requirements. This does not count against your secret objective limit or the number that you can score in a round. When you score another player's secret objective, you do not score a victory point. Instead, you place a face-down plot card onto your player area, and with that player's control token on it.
Got it. Okay.
So
that's so weird.
If you scored have 5 dreadnoughts, and then I scored that next, I take your token and I put it on top of a card, and then I can purge that card and flip it
to change your faction to a different faction.
The firmament are under no such pressure. So yeah, everyone else has to consider what they're doing with their secret objectives, but the firmament don't have to. They can just do whatever the fuck they want. They can score any secret objectives. There's nothing stopping them, but you have to think about it, because if I can score it, it's bad for you.
Well, okay, how powerful are these plots? I mean, do they get that big of a power-up? Because they only have to purge one of those cards, I noticed.
They're in the next thing. The game that takes up to 16 hours to play will now have a longer runtime when this faction is in play, with almost no matter what, because of the pressure of not knowing where the plots are. They will force you. They will force on you. It will cause a lot of careful choices in terms of scoring secrets. Longer games, harder to sell to people with jobs.
I mean, this is you already hate this faction. You're
Kinda.
already telling me what you predict is going to be bad with this faction before you're even finishing describing what the faction does.
I recognize that I'm probably overreacting, as I often do. But this doesn't diminish my points. The abilities are very powerful, and I haven't even gotten to the meat yet. The meat!
Innervate, Siphon, Seethe, Assail, and Extract. These are the plot cards.
They sure are. Innervate. You can perform the secondary abilities of the puppeted player's strategy cards without spending command tokens. For leadership, you can take the primary ability instead.
Whoa!
Yeah. So that one's pretty bad, right?
What? Whoa!
When the puppeted player gains commodities, you gain an equal number of trade goods. So Hakan. When this card is revealed, destroy all units in a non-home planet controlled by the player. At the start of the status phase, destroy one of the puppeted player's infantry in that system.
Okay. Well, that's a one-time thing.
Yep. Assail. Apply +1 to the results of each of your combat and unit ability rolls against the puppeted player. So they just get a permanent +1 against you.
Okay.
That
Wow.
was
I mean, that's really nasty. You just have an advantage against that player for the rest of the game.
When this card is revealed, gain one non-faction technology owned by the puppeted player. When the puppeted player gains a non-faction technology, you may spend 4 resources to gain that technology.
Okay, so this is reminding me a lot of the Mahawked, but like even further. Like they're trying so hard to make a faction that is designed to have the rest of the table play against them.
Do you see all of this and see why I say this is annoying to me?
How they have to score secret objectives. Okay,
Yes.
and that is a lot harder than whatever the Mahawked had to do to get their commander abilities.
It sure is, but like it's not that difficult depending on the objective. Especially if it's a fighting one. Now we can actually look at their whole thing. So we've gone over pots and plots and pups of the blade. Flagship. If the active system contains units that belong to a player who has control token on one of your plots, apply +1 to this ship's move value and repair it at the end of every combat round.
Okay.
So it's pretty good. Faction promissory note is stupid. The firmament may place one face-down plot card in their play area with your control token on. Then, gain 2 command tokens, gain 2 trade goods, and purchase cards. Sounds like a good trade potentially, but it also still unlocks their commander, who makes getting secrets easier. Agent stops other players from using space cannon and gives the ability to move through enemies.
I mean, I would never take that deal with the
No.
government. It's like, I'm going to give you a plot against me.
That's why it's stupid.
I mean, I like that. I like the idea that it's a purge thing where they can only make that deal once with one player.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bites.
Their hero also guarantees a plot card, which is
Wow.
insane. Their mechs can coexist, totally normal and not weird at all. Yeah, so their mechs can just coexist. You know that mechanic we talked about? They can just do that.
Okay, that is really weird. I mean,
Yep. It'll get explained. Yellow Tech. When you gain this card, put the Fracture into play. Flip this card if the Obsidian faction is in play. The Fracture is the outer space area you introduce in the expansion. So this is also a faction that is required with the expansion stuff, as opposed to some other things we could do.
mm-hmm.
Green Tech. At the start of the status phase, you may place 1 infantry from your reinforcements onto a planet you control in your home system. Flip this card if the Obsidian faction is in play.
So you just keep on building up. Okay, I mean, that isn't super powerful, but it is not bad.
There's a reason these ones are being mentioned specifically, and it's for when we go into the next thing.
Because, okay, yeah.
The entire play style is built around getting plots into the game. Very one note, reminds me of Winu, but more annoying. My worries for this faction are obvious. I just hope that they're unwarranted.
I mean, it does sound like they're trying to do a very, very weird experimental thing, like they did with the Winu, like they did with the Mahawked, like they did with Volraith to a certain extent. 2 faction, or what was the faction that has 3 different versions?
Colors.
Yeah, the Caleris, which is
Caleris.
also going to be coming out with. I'm assuming that's not part of the PowerPoint.
No, because it's already out, but we'll see. The Obsidian. Nocturne. This faction cannot be chosen during the setup. Blah. The Blades Orchestra. When this faction comes into play, flip your home system, double-sided faction components, and all your in-play plot cards, then ready Chronos Hollow and Tallow Hollow if you control them.
Interesting. Okay, so you purge one of those plot cards. So you technically don't get to always have all of your plots out.
You don't purge one of the plot cards. You purge the promissory note.
No. Before, in order to unlock the obsidian.
What do you mean? You don't purge them.
Puppets of the Blade. Action. Purge the firmament's faction sheet. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
If you have at least one. If you have at least one.
Yeah. Well, because it's gonna be difficult to get one, because people are just not gonna score secrets. Marionettes. Marionettes. The player who or players who control tokens on each plot card are puppeted for the players. Blah. At the end of the promissory note, at the end of your tactical action, spend 1 influence to give this card to one of your neighbors. You can use this ability even if you are the Obsidian player. At the end of the status phase, if you are not the Obsidian player, remove 1 command token from your fleet pool and return it to your reinforcements. They have created... Oh, wait, no. They've implemented hot potato into the game.
That's really funny. So it's a promissory note that you can't not keep. You can't. You can just force people to have it. Yeah, that sucks. And it removes their fleet tokens.
Yep.
Fuck that shit.
Their mechs now flip coexistence into other players. So now their mechs literally come out of the ocean and take over the planet.
Weird.
Yellow tech. At the start of your strategic action, you may move an ingress token, which is how you get into that thing.
What the fuck's an ingress token?
That's how you get into the fracture.
Okay.
Into a system that contains or is adjacent to your units. This technology cannot be researched. Green tech. At the start of your turn, destroy one other player's infantry in or adjacent system that contains your infantry. This technology cannot be researched.
Oh, fuck off.
Yep.
I mean, it's not super powerful, but...
Their leaders are now evil. Agents destroy additional ships for other players. Commander adds +1 to fracture encounters. Hero readies planets. Kind of mid, to be honest, but it makes sense because they already have stuff. Also, notice their flagship is empty, but they have a 5/3 for fighting.
Oh, they don't have a flagship. That's kind of neat.
The Firmament has a flagship, but when you change the Obsidian, it doesn't have anything of note because it's a 5/3. What do you need?
It's powerful. It's just a powerful flagship.
Their entire playstyle stems from using the plots and fucking with everyone at the table. Would be interesting faction if they didn't seem busted. Only time will tell, and might still end up being a Cabal situation where they're more annoying than impactful.
I'm going to predict that it's going to be a Cabal situation, or even a Mahawk situation, where it's going to seem really powerful. It's going to turn out that it's really, really difficult to do. It's not going to be considered good for a long time. Some players are going to work really, really hard on working on it in competitive environments, and it might become good in that scenario, like Mahawk has.
My problem is the fact that you can do the secret objectives. Like, no matter but
you're not scoring points on them.
No. But what I mean is, if you and I are playing, if we're playing with one other person and they're playing the Firmament, and we both have secret objectives, and we look at them and we go, okay, I can easily score this objective. I'm going to choose not to anyway, despite the fact that I can, because I know they can too.
I mean, you might be overestimating how powerful of an advantage those plots are. I mean, they seem really powerful.
They seem pretty fucking powerful.
Really powerful. Especially if I'm assuming you get to choose the plots, and since they all do different things, like that one with the trade goods, I'd give that to Hakan and get 6 trade goods every time they...
The important thing is that you don't know what they put down.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's the problem. So they'll put down, they'll take your token, put it on a card, and be like, I have no fucking idea what that is. I have no idea how bad that's going to fuck me.
Okay. Wow. It is cool.
Art change is really cool.
So, is there any more factions to go over?
No, I didn't have access to the Mat Chat, the Man Chat, whatever they're called. The Man Chat weird auxiliary faction things they're doing. None of that was available for me to look at, so I didn't have the ability.
You mean the new Mahawk?
Yes,
the Mahawk Kings.
Yes. In conclusion, I'm excited for the new factions. Some more than others, and I'm hyped to see how they will change up the game, and if we will unofficially table ban any of them for lack of fun. This leaves us with one final question: should our next game be new factions plus council?
I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking that might be pretty fun.
That might be pretty fun.
Even if I'll play the Firmament if you want, but I just got to make clear.
I'm sure you do.
I don't want to, but I want to make sure that whenever we do play that faction, that we tell people who don't know the game what the fuck's going on. Yeah, because they're the people who don't know how that faction functions are the ones who get fucked the most.
I mean, that's true. That's just true in Twilight Imperium for a certain extent.
Yeah, but I think this kind of takes it to a new level that I'm not particularly fond of, if I'm being honest.
Because, like, when we go back to your last game that you made a PowerPoint to describe it to me, Mike won as Winnu.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why he won is because it was that classic case of, well, if they play as Winnu, they have all their eggs in one basket, and you can very easily smash that basket and ruin their game, but if you don't, then they just win.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I don't like that design, personally. No. But, you know, it is just a part of the game. It is just one of, what is this, 30-something fucking factions now?
I think it's exactly 30.
Yeah, exactly 30 factions. Wow.
I think. No, I think it's 29, actually. Because I think it's 24 before plus 5.
Caleris was the 25th.
Oh, that's right. I forget about Caleris every time because I don't have it.
I've never liked Caleris. It doesn't help that they're supposed to be, like, cops.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
There's some interesting parts about it, but I'm not... Yeah, not that excited. I would like to play that game, though. I just don't know who the fuck to play. I'm going to probably end up being the one who pick... Me and you will probably be the ones who pick last.
I like the Geckos. I think they're probably my favorite out of that list.
Yeah, I think the Crimson Rebellion are the coolest.
And they're the coolest, but I'm just going to assume I don't get to choose that one first.
That's my other assumption, is I'm pretty sure we know who's going to pick that one first.
You can play it. It's fine.
Yep.
It's yours. I'll play as the Geckos.
I'll play the Ferment. It's fine.
Who has to play as the last Bastion, the one that seems really powerful but really boring?
Probably Austin.
Humans 2.0.
I'll probably be Austin.
All right. So, we ready to move on?
Yep, I'm ready to move on.
We don't have a lot of time left to record this, so I'm going to skip talking about Kid Icarus. I don't really think you'd care that much.
Not interested. Just Kid Icarus, you know?
Well, I've been having fun doing retro gaming stuff. So, Alex decided he was going to delve deeper into Metroid after our PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me a bunch of maps that he created while playing the game. And then he speedrun it using a route that got him the best ending, so under hour. Meaning
cool.
He massively improved on my time. I used the same route, beat his time by a little bit, and then we've just been like swapping back like ideas for how to improve the efficiency of the route, like how we can try to get Varia's suit early, or go straight to Ridley from Norfair. It's been a shitload of fun. Like, this is exactly like the experience that you want from this kind of game, and I can't like express just how good Metroid 1 Nestroid is in this context.
Cool. I'm glad you've been having fun.
But I also played a bit of Kid Icarus, and Kid Icarus is a weird fucking game that maybe I'll describe to you some other time.
Fair enough.
But the discussion I wanted to bring up again was, do you remember when you wanted to give me your definition of what makes a game?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've been looking more into that subject, and I did kind of a research, or it actually kind of came up when I was watching a video about Death Stranding.
Okay.
And I wanted to give you a new definition for what makes a game, and just hear your thoughts on it.
Are you ready, prepared to download this into your thought process?
Are you familiar with a book called Homo Ludens?
No, of course I'm not.
By Johann Huizinga.
That did not help.
Nope. It was published in 1938.
Okay.
And it is part of the canon on game study.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And it goes over, like, it has its own definition of what a game is, but obviously this precedes electronic games. Mm. This is like a colonial era, like pre-World War II text that we're going from. But learning about this book has been fucking fascinating for me, because it turns out that it intersects a lot with a lot of ideas that I find really, really interesting. Johann Huizinga is like not just someone who analyzes game design, but he's also like a psychiatrist or a psychologist and a linguist. And
I feel like that's pretty common with people who look at the concept of game in the academic sense. Got there.
Anyway, before we can define a game, I have to first describe play. So
yes,
I often have been using Ludo as a prefix improperly. I thought Ludo meant like touch, but Ludo means play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like any Ludo discussions is discussions of like
play concept.
Play as a concept. So I have a definition of play which is hugely broad. And the first 5 points I took straight from Wikipedia, and then I have some bullets that I came from the video that I was watching about this.
Right.
But the definition of play. Play is free. In fact, it is freedom. Play is not ordinary or real life.
Nope.
Play is distinct from ordinary life, both in locality and duration. Play creates order and is order. Play demands order absolute and supreme. Like I said, I copied this straight from Wikipedia, so the wording is like right from the book.
Yeah.
Play is connected with no material interest and no profit can be gained from it.
Okay.
So, what play is a discharge of energy, a restorer of energy, a satisfier of imitative instincts, a way to satisfy a need for relaxation, a way to teach restraint, a way to practice or simulate activities before doing them for real later, a safe outlet for harmful impulses, and my favorite, a way to create fictions designed to keep us feeling up feelings of personal value.
Yeah. Okay. That tracks.
You'd agree with all that stuff?
So far.
So the argument that Johann Huizinga makes about games specifically is that like play is observed in all kinds of animal species.
Oh yeah, every single thing.
Yeah, playing is normal.
The
Things
classic,
play.
if you put a hamster wheel in the middle of the forest, you can watch different animals use it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun thing you can do.
The argument that he was making is that like play is foundational to human culture.
Oh yeah.
Like all culture is derived from play. And what games are, because only humans make games, games are the human's innate ability to speak, to communicate verbally with one another. The thing that no other animal can do is, like, when that intersects with that play instinct is where games come from. And the argument that the author makes throughout this book is that games are like everything is a game, that human psychology is built around the idea of gamifying everything to a certain extent.
Yeah, I can see the point.
So if you were to criticize this definition, it is incredibly broad.
Yeah.
Now, I agree with the assertions made by this book, but we'll get into it after that. So, here is our definition of a game. A game is a limit of time and space, with participants acting out their play in a visible order, according to rules that are freely accepted by all parties, outside the realms of necessity or rationality. Like, obviously, they don't have to make sense in terms of real world.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing it for any other reason than have fun. And often containing an agonic component. And that was my favorite part, because my sticking point when we talked about this last time was your idea of, like, it has to have a fail state. Well, Johann says that it's not necessarily a fail state, but there has to be an agonizing component. There has to be a bad thing.
Okay, yeah. Like when you fail in the dungeon in Stardew Valley.
Yep. Or when you just lose.
Yeah.
Or when you just waste your time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as long as there is something that makes you feel bad, that bad feeling is what helps the game actually function, you know?
Maybe slightly better description would be not necessarily making you feel bad, but making you feel like neutral, whereas the rest of the game would make you feel positive.
One thing I should point out is that the video I was watching, that whole agonic thing wasn't part of the definition, but they brought it up saying that, like, the agonic thing seems to be a requirement as well. He almost always seems to have, like, an agonic component to things.
There has to be something that will stop, that will change the state, I guess. That's the kind of the way I describe it, if I'm not mistaken, is the state of play has to change in order for you to be recognized that you have, like, failed or something has happened.
How do you feel about that definition, though?
I think it's pretty good. I think using something that agonizing is much better than saying a fail state, because fail state sounds very specific. It sounds like dying. It sounds like, not getting enough rooms and blueprints and going back. But, like, it doesn't necessarily... I didn't think it needed to be that necessarily or specifically, because I think that works a lot better. That definition works better when Stardew Valley, for example, or maybe a puzzle game.
But you see how this... it fits in all kinds of games. Obviously not just video games, because this was written long before video games ever existed. But all types of tabletop games and sports and other things. So, can you guess what the big problem with that definition is?
I'd have to have you go through it again.
I can if you like, real quick.
Yeah, go through.
Limits of time and space, participants acting out their play in a visible order, according to rules freely accepted by all parties, outside the realm of necessity or rationality, often containing an agonic component.
I think it's gonna be the crap. I just lost it. I'm not gonna have you read it again. Just tell me.
Well, the problem, if you were to criticize this definition, and again, I agree with it, but the criticism is that it is so broad, you could technically include almost anything under this.
We made that point last time we talked about this. I think that almost everything should be considered a game.
Well, it makes you think about certain things a lot differently. Because when I say everything, I mean warfare, economics, legal proceedings in a courtroom. All of these are, in a way, a game that human culture has created, that human society has created, and that we follow rules for, you know?
Yeah, we follow etiquette rules a lot of the times.
Like, we don't go to war for fun. It doesn't meet the definition of play.
No.
But it does meet the definition of a game, or at least this definition of a game.
Well, the fact that you can take war and every single aspect of war and turn it into literally a video game reinforces that point a lot.
Exactly, and that's why I really do agree with this sentiment, because it says a lot about like human psychology, human development, the way we educate ourselves and stuff like that.
I think there's also there's a sect of people who just view life this way all the time, and they always have.
I kind of do.
Like I kind of do, and I kind of don't. I think that I think saying it's all a game kind of simplifies a lot of the emotional elements within the facet of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think it diminishes. I shouldn't say diminishes. It can diminish how people react to that sort of emotion. And I think that part of human psychology is probably a separate area, like walled off. But I think it's as integral and important to the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of high mind ideas I don't know a lot about. Well, that's my thoughts.
I wanted this to be a high-minded discussion. If we can,
well, I'm trying.
eke it out for another 8 minutes. The economics is the weird thing. I'm like, okay, but we already do kind of describe it as a game, you know?
We turn
a
into a game.
Well, people do treat it like a game, and other people don't treat it like a game, but they're losing that game because they are, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're losing this economic game. I live in poverty because I'm losing the economic game.
Well, I mean, like, people have made economics into video games too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing.
Because we have gamified everything.
We have gamified everything. Puzzle games. We've even gamified dating.
Yeah. I mean, dating simulators are an older genre than most.
Yeah, it's been around forever. We gamified every single part of life, so to make the argument that life is ultimately a game, you know, not necessarily a positive one, but one is not difficult, I don't think, because when you think even the dumbest shit, bro.
The reason why we're able to gamify all these things is because all of these things were once originally games.
Yeah.
You know? The argument that Johan makes is like it starts off as play. Like animals are just like literally communication. Language was developed probably by ape-like creatures making grunts and noises at each other as part of a game and like signifying what certain sounds meant with certain ideas. You know.
Yeah. And then that translates over time into words.
And then any game that you make, and you think about how important the play instinct is. Like, kids play. That's what they do. That's the most important thing to you as a kid.
Yeah, when you're a
up.
child. It's the thing you want to do more than anything. We have play dates.
If all of your, material needs are met, if you got your food and shelter and water and everything, then the only thing that a kid wants to do is play. That's the most important part of their development.
Whatever play means to each individual kid, yeah. It's also just like an expression of imagination, like a raw, real expression of your imagination to the most extent that it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's played the game where you played with the kids, and it was like we were doing wizards and shoots, and we were like, bop bop bop. It's like, no, I have an everything-proof shield. It's like, oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And like the funny, like you can even take a game like Calvin Ball from like Calvin and Hobbes, like this. We're making up all the rules on the spot. It's like, well, technically, it still works under Johan's definition.
We did that with Munchkin. Me and a friend of mine made a version of Munchkin where we just have a deck of cards and we just like play the deck of cards as we're playing to figure out what we had, and we had a fun time with it.
I found this research very validating. That's why I'm bringing it to the podcast. I love this kind of stuff.
I've seen a few different things talk about play as concept and how they function within society, but every time it's just like that's so interesting, and it made me want to read the actual game theory book. Is it the game? Not game theory.
I mean, there's a lot of books on game theory, like Ludo.
I think it's called Game Theory, but it's. I'm imagining the YouTube channel, which is hurting.
Wait, yeah, don't want to get into that. It's a very popular YouTube channel. I'm glad for all the people who love that channel.
I'm not.
I don't like it.
I don't know. I used to like it a lot, and then time. I also used to like CinemaSins. I know you have a lot of opinions on CinemaSins.
Not that many opinions. I just think they're bad. They make bad videos. But whatever, it's popcorn content. It's, light, fluffy content. I love my super long, dry, heavily researched analytical essays about
about Call of Duty Ghosts.
I did watch like a fucking 6-hour goddamn video about Call of Duty Ghosts.
You watched I watched just Fooling Ideas video.
Oh wait, how long was that?
That was like 2 hours.
Okay, I'm getting confused. Well, I've also watched. So the way I was introduced to the essayist Noah Caldwell-Gervais, who's like one of my favorite video game essayists.
Yeah.
He does like entire retrospectives of an entire series.
I believe you told me about him.
His Call of Duty one was so fucking cool because that was the first one I watched. It was like, I'm going to go through every Call of Duty game and like, here's the history. And it's like, wow, I can really appreciate like Modern Warfare when it came out. Like that game is legitimately art.
Yes.
And it's crazy thinking about like Call of Duty in that way because I've never had a strong opinion of the series, but like,
no, it's the scene where you like watch your character die of a nuclear explosion.
And the criticism of like the U.S. government and the Iraq War at the time and all that stuff. It's like, this is really cool. And Call of Duty Ghosts, like the funny thing is like I learned about its criticisms from that video way back when. That game sucks, dude. Like
it's so bad.
It is everything, every stereotype, every bad idea I've ever had about Call of Duty as someone who knows about it but doesn't really play it. That's Call of Duty Ghosts. It literally lives up to all the bad reputation.
And then there's Modern Warfare 2. It's Modern Warfare 1 again.
Yeah, I think Modern Warfare... Well, I get it. I get it that Modern Warfare 2 had, like, the greatest multiplayer experience of its era.
Sure did.
Sure did. But I think it's weaker than Call of Duty... Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, that story and art and everything like there.
Well, you didn't like the part where you killed a bunch of people?
I thought
or
it was...
you could.
I thought they were trying too hard to have, like, a big moment again.
Yeah.
And then what did they do in the next one? Because they keep doing that, didn't they?
Modern Warfare 3, I have no idea. I hated Modern Warfare 3. I couldn't stand that game.
Yeah.
Despised it on every level.
I was never a Call of Duty guy.
Yeah, I liked Black Ops. All right. Well, we're not technically running out of time, but we're gonna end. We're about done, I think.
Yeah.
You got anything else? We talk about Kid Icarus next week. I also think I might go over the Battlefield series and why I hate their naming conventions.
Yeah, I mean, you've been talking about wanting to talk about Battlefield for a while.
Yes,
but
I forgot. So, that's happening next week. Tune in then. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. We're on Spotify. We do our videos on Monday now. That's a thing.
Has that been affecting our views at all?
No. Also, just a slight offshoot. Our highest viewed video of the starting topics is the one about 7-part Pact.
I'm very happy that one is, because of anything that I ever wanted to get attention, it's that game.
Same, but why? I just don't get it.
I don't get it either, but
hey, I'm happy.
Well, I know our producer shared it with a bunch of people. He really wants to play 7-part Pact.
We are going to play that with our producer. All right. Bye, everybody. It was lovely talking to you. Lovely talking to you, Ben.
Bye, listeners. Bye, Ryan.
Bye.